about you, Tio? What other, now that you've retired from football, are you heading on to something else?
I have other passions, which is probably surprising to a lot of people. Obviously, my friends, they know, but I love home decor. HGTV is one of my favorite channels. Honestly, it's one of the first two channels. Yeah. So I like home decor. I like fashion. I just established a clothing line. It's called Prototype 81. And people like, well, why the name Prototype? And so when I came up with that idea, but obviously creativity is part of, it's in my DNA because of all the creative touchdown dances that I had throughout the course of my career. And
plus he has the body for it.
That helps too, prototypical. And so that goes into what I'm about to say. So when I came out of college, and obviously they're evaluating, they're scouting you. And so I kept hearing the word prototype, just like he has a prototypical type of body. At that time, around I guess late 90s, going into the National Football League, they had some of the bigger receivers. I think I was at the beginning phase and trend of big receivers. You talk about Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice, Herman Moore. Mm-hmm. These are Jake Reed. These are tall receivers, and so I kind of fit that mold. And so obviously with my clothing line, I started to be creative. I'm like, what can I do with this line? How can I make it attractive? And the word prototype, the definition is the basis on which something is made or formed. And so obviously, like I said, I'm here telling you about my story, how I got to the National Football League. Obviously small town, went to school, Chattanooga. I played 2 sports in Chattanooga, played football and basketball. Like I said, I didn't know I was going to get drafted. I played 3 years of basketball. My last year playing basketball, the school they was like, why are you going to risk, playing basketball and, you may risk and get hurt and not, mess up your chances of playing in the National Football League. But again, me being oblivious to, the potential that I had and what people saw in me, I'm like, well, I love basketball. My passion is basketball. So I was like, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. So I played anyway. And so I came up with the name Prototype 81. And so, like I said, the definition of prototype is the basis on which something is made or formed. And I look at my career and I reflected back on it. And I'm like, man, I never thought I was going to be here, but I'm here anyway. And so obviously with, fashion, my mom grew up, I grew up and my mom, she worked a number of jobs. She made our clothes when we were younger. So I think fashion was sort of in my DNA. Obviously 81 is obviously synonymous with my football number that I played with. And so that's how I came up with the name. And so I'm into a little bit of fashion. I just launched a Cabernet, a wine, under the Lasorda family. Tommy Lasorda's wine company, Lasorda Family Wines. So I got involved in that during the pandemic. Everybody was, kind of dibbling and dabbling, during that time. So I'm doing that, and then then I'm working with a friend of mine. She does candles, so I'm doing some candles as well. So, you want to find anything about me, just go to my Instagram. Find
I know.
I'm still social media. I'm not too old, but I'm still social media active. I love fan engagement and just using, kind of what the National Football League has afforded me to do a number of things that I'm doing now from an entrepreneurial standpoint.